Hey guys, subscribe for daily content. And if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another short little unboxing video to share with you guys. Something from Migron and something that is undoubtedly inexpensive, I can tell from the box. Here lately, I mean, if we're talking locking systems, I'm going to be honest with you, I think Vosteed is really leading the pack. However, when it comes to, if the locking system doesn't have to be anything too outside of the norm, Migron does definitely take the cake for dollar value in the budget knife world. And I don't think too many people will argue with me given the materials used, the build quality, the willingness to add things like titanium pocket clips and PVD coatings. I think they do a really great job and are kind of under-celebrated. As much as people do enjoy their products, they are kind of under-celebrated. I definitely recommend that you guys check out Migron if you haven't, but I'll have links, of course, in the description for this and Migron knives in general. Thanks so much to Migron. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me. I don't recognize the name of this. It says Gatov. That means that it is, in fact, a model that I have not experienced. I've explained to Migron and many companies, don't send me a new color of the same knife, right? Because it needs to either be something completely different, a different model, or it needs to be the same model with a brand new element that makes it unique. So, what do we have here? The Gatov. Pretty straightforward. Looks like it's going to be a crossbar lock. Okay, so this is going to be almost certainly a stupidly inexpensive knife. What do we have for the blade steel? Are we going to say? I think it actually said on the box here. It didn't. What is the blade steel here? Okay, so I just went and looked it up just to save you guys some time. This is a $29 knife. It's exactly what I thought. I figured that they were combining D2 with aluminum. This is exactly what I was talking about. Migron does some of the best in-class $30, $40, and $50 knives out there. When it comes to knives, this is important to talk about. I know that we're not looking at anything like overly special or overly different here, but the reason that I want to talk about this, the reason I'm going to take the time to make a video on this guy is because the #1 most recommendable knife on this channel that is the least expensive is the QSP Penguin. I'm not talking about the best dollar for dollar. I'm just saying what's the least expensive knife that you recommend. It's a QSP Parrot and the QSP Penguin between $28 and $32. Those have been kings, right? And they are still to this day incredibly recommendable. Why other companies that are well known? I mean, you have tons of like these weird little TikTok brands that are all like just doing this. Like, yeah, you have those guys and they're making knives for like 20 bucks. The problem is, as much as I think there's quite a bit of variation in the heat treat on this stuff, and maybe with QSP, I definitely don't trust the heat treat on that crap. I'm just going to say it. If you're charging $17, $18, $19 for your knife, and you're saying it's D2, #1, it's probably not. And even if it is, I doubt it's heat treated anywhere near properly. I do, however, trust Migron to at least get it into a reasonable zone. They are trying to compete in that territory, which is not easy to do right now for a multitude of reasons. There are plenty of people out there who would still consider a $30 knife pretty pricey because they're used to, you know, buying really crappy $5 and $10 knives. So if they're going to do it, they want to make sure that they're buying something that's actually going to hold up. So for those people, there are very few things out there that I will actually recommend. Most of the time, outside of stuff like the QSP Parrot and Penguin, I'll say you need to bump up. You need to save up for about 40 and go with Migron or, you know, Sencut or something like that. To have something like this in aluminum with nested liners and D2 steel coming in at $29 is pretty spectacular. Now, there's a couple of things that personally I would prefer would be different about this knife. For me personally, I would prefer it was a little bit bigger, but I know that there's plenty of people out there who might specifically want a knife that is small like this. I'm going to give you guys the measurement here. Overall length is coming in at 6.75 inches, and blade length is about 2.85 inches. Cutting edge is about 2 3/4, a little bit less. This is good for people who like smaller knives, and it's also good for people who are traveling, like in the United States, if you're traveling from state to state. There are some, I think, are there some states left that have a 3-inch blade law? Like that is hilarious to me, but I think that it still is the case. So that is helpful for a lot. I don't think you can carry this in every single state, but I think that this is helpful. If you're traveling, it makes it good. This is also really, really easy to manipulate. The area where they have this opening hole makes it easy to wheel out, and it also makes it easy to reverse flick. Can you thumb flick it? Yeah, actually, it's not terrible. The tolerances and the manufacturing quality are so good. I have to say this right now. As much as I like artisan cutlery, because I literally just filmed an artisan cutlery and CJRB unboxing right before this. They're fine. Their budget stuff is fine. Every now and then they have a real banger from CJRB, right? As far as the quality, like dollar for dollar quality goes between Migron and artisan cutlery, and honestly, a lot of them. Migron is way, way better. The artisans are okay. I would give them maybe a B- overall. And I would give Migron an A in terms of their overall machining quality. They just feel so much better. Yeah, for $29, this is great. And I would consider this ultra budget. People have always asked me to do like a top 10 in ultra budget, under 30 or under 25. And the reason that I haven't is because there are not enough knives in that territory that I legitimately recommend. And I know people want to tell me, you've never looked at this or this, there's this brand, it's only 17. The problem is that the lack of information regarding proper HRC testing on that stuff. It's one thing to charge only 15 to 20 bucks for D2 or whatever they say. A lot of companies don't even try. They're like, oh yeah, it's S30V, trust us. We lasered it in, right? But even when they're using believable materials, I don't believe that it's heat treated properly and therefore wouldn't recommend it. I would still recommend people pay more and get something that is put together correctly and actually has a good heat treat. Migron, while I don't think they're hitting their D2 to like 62, 63, right? I think they're hitting it in there probably right around 60, which isn't perfect, but it's good enough for 30 bucks. I think Migron and other companies should really try. I don't think many other companies are willing to try. I know Migron is. I've talked many times with a guy who runs Migron, and he's super dedicated to keeping his prices as low as possible. I think Migron, continue to do what you guys are doing in your your $30, or well, I'm sorry, your $40, your $50 tier, and then the premium stuff you guys do. I think you're doing a great job. I think you need to release more knives that are built like this in various sizes and shapes, right? Whatever you got to do to get them under 30 bucks, like right there at that $29 territory. I think that is a severely under, like as far as like knives that are made at that price point, I think that it's something that a lot of companies are missing. I think there's an opportunity there, and unfortunately, the brands that are doing well, the knives that are selling, are from really sketchy, lesser known companies that may or may not actually be selling us what is advertised. So Migron, I think this is cool. It's a smaller knife. It's not doing anything special other than just being a really high quality build for only $29. If this knife was maybe 7.5 inches or more, I would have been even more excited about it. I think that this would have been an absolute home run. I don't think that part of the reason that they can get the price this low is because it is small. I don't think that that's the case at all. I think they absolutely can release a larger version. But I think that would be a good idea. This is pretty cool. I'm really impressed with this knife for the money, and I think it's awesome. I think you guys should definitely check it out. I love that it's fully ambidextrous, right? Not doing anything we haven't seen before. It's just a really, really good price, which is saying something in 2025. I will review this, but there's not anything here that's like overly complicated. I think you guys know what you're looking at here. Migron, hope to talk with you more about this soon, this price point, because I think this is pretty cool. That's going to be it today. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do not like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe, because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.